When my 11-year-old daughter was recently asked about a place in the world that makes her happy, she recalled our trip to Israel last summer. Reflexively, without thinking, from a place deep inside her kishkas, she answered without any hesitation, the gelato place on Emek Rephaim across from the swimming pool, the one down the street from the waffle restaurant. Last June, I led a congregational trip of 36 members of our shul to Israel for 2 weeks, and afterwards, we stayed as a family for the first 2 weeks of July. I studied at the Hartman Institute's Rabbinic Torah Studies Seminar. Give a good shout out to Hartman. My husband explored archaeological sites, and our daughters swam in the pool on Emek Rephaim, ate gelato every day, and attended the Ramah day camp. But it was not a typical summer in Israel. As violence once again erupted between Israelis and Palestinians, we attended a shiva for Naftali and Gilad and Eyal, Zichronam Livracha, the 3 Jewish teenagers murdered in the West Bank. We went to the mourning tent for Mohammed Abu Qadir, the Palestinian teenager murdered by Jewish extremists in Jerusalem. And as rockets found their way to Jerusalem airspace for the first time since the Gulf War, despite everyone's disbelief, we also spent time in the Miklat, the bomb shelter. My 7.5-year-old loves maps. We have a photograph of her when she was 2 years old on a giant map of the world in our living room and pointing to the countries of the world as we called out their names. It was and it remains a favorite game of ours. And so on the day that we drove from the depths of the Mitzpeh Ramon crater to the heights of the Golan, she, who reliably tracked our travels across the map of Israel, asked me what the green line was. Daddy, what is that green line? How do you answer a 7-year-old? How do you explain occupation, morality, Jewish values? How do you explain 1948 and 1967 and 1973 and 1982 and the First Intifada and the Second Intifada and the bus bombings and terror attacks and the withdrawal from Gaza and the Oslo Peace Accords and Rabin Zichrono Livracha and Peres and Arafat and Netanyahu and Abbas and Operation Cast Lead and Protective Edge and Areas A, B, and C? And how do you translate for a 7-year-old the word miklat? For a parent who believes in telling his kids the truth, albeit in developmentally appropriate ways, I was uncharacteristically and agonizingly silent. Well, I stammered, it's complicated, you see. The green line represents the land that Israel controls and occupies, and I got a 7-year-old eye roll. Too much? Too much. She headed to the back of the bus to watch videos with the rest of the kids. But still, I was relieved, knowing that we may not have covered every facet of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, but we had begun an important conversation that would surely continue in the years to come. I am here today and I support J Street with all my heart because I owe my daughters an honest conversation about Israel. My daughters, named Noah and Liat, love Israel, and they ask every single day when we are going back, because as their parents, we have done an outstanding job to help them fall in love with the land and people of Israel. At our Seders next month, at our Sedarim, we will ask about the child who does not know enough to ask. So long as the green line is absent from too many maps in the Jewish community, our children are not being given the tools to ask the right questions. Too often, those of us in the Jewish world withhold this information from our kids. We omit the green line, We've become experts in conflict avoidance around the occupation, somehow out of fear that it could tarnish their love for Israel. But in reality, it's the occupation itself and the lack of a two-state solution that jeopardizes the future of Israel that I love and that my daughters love. By using maps with a green line and asking others to do the same, we are taking responsibility for our role in this conflict, and we are acting responsibly to our children. For all of us, the act of questioning, the great spiritual tradition of Jewish questioning, opens up the possibility of considering a different future and a better future. And I ask you now, I pray and I hope, please join me in taking this important step and commit to working for an Israel worthy of all of our Jewish moral integrity and my daughter's dreams. Thank you.